The wait is over. Ford has finally given us all the details on the all-new Bronco. There's a lot to tell you here in this video. I will do it in my normal, efficient way. Subscribe to this channel for more news, and as always, great car reviews. Let's go. The good news is I've got a lot to show and tell you here. The bad news is Bronco 2 and 4-door will not be available until spring of 2021. Yeah, there's going to be a wait. Now, if you want the Bronco Sport, the less capable version, that will be in dealerships in late 2020. But as far as the Bronco 2 and 4-door go, it's a pretty deep rig. Jeep Wrangler has competition. We have pricing. A 2-door will start at $31,500 with shipping. That's more expensive than Wrangler Sport, but at this time I don't know how the base Bronco is equipped. About the same size as the original Bronco, it's based on a new generation body-on-frame mid-size truck architecture that will be used under the next generation Ranger, but Bronco gets a different treatment for better off-road ability. All Broncos get four-wheel drive. There will be two EcoBoost engines, meaning they're both turbocharged, a 2.3-liter four-cylinder with around 270 horsepower, or a 2.7-liter V6 with 310 horsepower. No talk of any kind of electrification, at least yet. There are two transmissions, a 7-speed manual, yes, a manual with a 95-to-1 crawl ratio, and a 10-speed automatic. There are two 4x4 systems, base and advanced. Base uses a 2-speed electronic shift-on-the-fly transfer case. Advanced gets a 2-speed electromechanical transfer case with an auto mode for on-demand engagement between 2-high and 4-high. The solid rear axle is a Dana 44 Advantech. The front is an independent Dana Advantech diff unit. Both can be had with Spicer Performatrack electronic locking differentials. Ford claims best-in-class suspension travel, 17% more both front and rear than the closest competitor, which I'm assuming is Wrangler. An optional segment-exclusive semi-active hydraulic stabilizer bar can disconnect during articulation and reconnect under all conditions. It automatically reconnects once on road. Ford is clearly targeting the Jeep Wrangler with Bronco. In fact, in the press briefing and press materials, it often references the World War II era Ford General Purpose Vehicle, or the GP. You say that enough times, GP, 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 Jeep, Jeep, Jeep. Jeep, a registered trademark of FCA. Now, the logo might be a horse, but Ford is awfully proud of GOAT, or GOAT mode, which is an acronym for Go Over Any Type of Terrain. There are up to 7 GOAT modes depending on model. More capable Broncos add mud and ruts and rock crawl. Trail control, kind of a low-speed cruise control, operates at up to 20 miles an hour going forward and 6 miles an hour backwards. Trail turn assist uses torque vectoring to tighten up the off-road turning radius. And finally, Trail one-pedal drive is true to its name, using one pedal for both acceleration and braking when rock crawling. Ford claims segment-leading off-road capability with up to 11.6 inches of ground clearance, a maximum 29-degree breakover angle, and 37.2-degree departure angle, plus up to 33.5 inches of water fording capability. That's like the shallow end of a swimming pool. Some steel skid plates are standard. More capable models get a front bash plate and shielding for the engine, transmission, transfer case, and fuel tank. Ford claims the optional side rock rails are strong enough to support the weight of each side of the vehicle. What can be removed on the Bronco? Well, the tops, of course. There's a soft top, and there's a 3-panel hardtop for the 2-door, a 4-panel job for the 4-door. Ford claims that one person can take it on and off. The fender flares and the bumper ends can be removed. Also, on the inside, there are grab handles that can not only be removed, but replaced by different versions. If you want a folding flat windshield, the Bronco does not do that. If you want bugs in your teeth, you're going to have to go with Jeep Wrangler. The lightweight doors remove easily for storage in the cargo area. They don't have to be left behind or chained to a tree. Bags keep them from getting scratched up. Apparently, they also aid in taking the doors off. Because of boron steel in the B-pillars, engineers were able to eliminate the mid-cross rail in the roof, so the view skyward should be impressive, especially in back. The 4-door comes standard with the soft top. A hard top is standard with the 2-door. The back door opens to the side, there's a pull-out shelf or bench, and there's a bottle opener in the back. These are the trim levels from utilitarian to plushmobile to boulder hopper. The base is for those looking to build their Broncos from scratch, sort of like a Wrangler Sport. Outer Banks is about creature comforts. Badlands is the ultimate in off-roading. All of these models can be ordered with a Sasquatch package. It offers 35-inch tires and other off-road enhancements. This new Bronco takes an awful lot of design cues from the first generation, not the one that OJ was riding around in. And by the way, if you didn't notice, this is the first Bronco to ever have 4 doors. Up front, the round headlights are perfectly centered in the one-piece grille. The peaked fenders give drivers an idea about dimensions. Also, lash points that are also sight guides are an excellent way to tie down canoes and kayaks. Tow hooks, naturally. In back, one-piece tail lamps are reminiscent of the original Bronco. The bumpers are separated from the body. There's a lot more heritage here than you might imagine. Here's a cool fun fact. The granddaughter of one of the clay modelers that worked on the original Bronco was on this clay modeling team. In fact, she used his tools. So really, tons of heritage that you won't even see here. The original Bronco's wide plane of a dashboard was inspiration. The cabin can be hosed out after a muddy trail romp. The floor is rubberized with drain plugs. Available seats have boat-grade vinyl. Switches and dials for off-road controls are rubberized and weather-resistant. Notice they're up high on the dash, so you can keep your eyes on the terrain ahead. That's a nice touch. A full surround camera system with front spotter's view is available. Those cameras can be triggered by a smartphone, so the Bronco can take campsite selfies. Also, there's a dashboard rail system for phones and GoPros. It has cord management. The advanced navi system works on and offline. It adds topographical trail maps with over 1,000 curated routes. Drivers can take notes about the trail on the system and share the data with others. Screens are 8 and 12-inch. Sync 4 will be available. Android and CarPlay are wireless. Over-the-air updates can be done. All right, so what else? Buy a Bronco 2 or 4-door or the Bronco Sport with the Badlands package and you get free off-road training as long as you get yourself and your Bronco to one of the parks that Ford is opening up. They call them off-rodeo parks. Pretty good. Bronco off-rodeo. In the press briefing, Ford took pains to tell us that they went through extreme testing beyond what it's done with its trucks before. The Blue Oval folks say that Bronco is a brand, much like Jeep. The Sport looks to be like Compass or Cherokee, and if you watch that separate video, you'll see that it's not just an escape wearing camping clothes. Sport was developed to tackle some rugged stuff, and it has some very cool features for outdoorsy people. It's just not as extreme as the Bronco 2 and 4-door. Wrapping up here, in the press material, Ford had a lot of really great heritage shots of the first generation Bronco that included the pickup. Remember, there was a Bronco pickup. So I specifically asked whether or not the new generation would have a pickup, and I, of course, got the line, "We don't comment on future product." Of course. But there are spy shots that suggest that this is happening. Stay tuned for that. All right, hope you enjoyed my look at the all-new Bronco 2 and 4-door. Remember, I have a separate video that covers the Bronco Sport, so check that out. And subscribe and click notifications so you don't miss any Bronco news or any of the car reviews that I do, all right? All right, that's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk.